What's good, people? We're back again. Welcome back to Football's 12th Man. We've got another show for you. It's myself and Egal talking all things Arsenal and people. I know you think this is going to be massively heated. Maybe it will be. But right now, me and Egal are happy. We're both happy because we're 2 wins away from winning the Premier League. We're 3 wins away from winning the Premier League and Champions League double. So I imagine this one will be very nice and positive. Or will it be? You know what me and Egal are like. We disagree a lot. We don't always see things eye to eye, but we definitely do get on very well. And it's a pleasure to have you on, Egal. How you feeling, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Hope everybody's good. For the premise of the people who think I am overlooking Crystal Palace or Bournemouth, Crystal Palace or Burnley or anybody like that, if I say we're going to win something, just put an if in front of it. Because I know you guys don't like it when we say we're going to win something, but just put an if in front of it. Because that's
Okay.
how it is. As for Arsenal fans in general, we should just be happy, man. We should just be happy. We look like we're finally going to get over the line and let the rivals cry and whinge about all these other things because for the last couple of years they've been telling us get over it.
Look, I'll be honest with you right now. If there is any Arsenal fan that's trying to be negative or hate on what's happening right now, then you truly do have an agenda because you can't be miserable right now. We're 2 wins away from winning the Premier League, which is something that me and other fans have said they don't believe Arteta can do. We are 3 wins away from doing something we've never done before, and that's win a Champions League trophy. If he achieves both of those, and we will get into it, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. If he achieves both of those, I do not care what anyone wants to call him, whether they want to call him a god, whether they want to give him a statue, whether they want to say he's the most successful, whether they want to say he's the best manager they've ever seen. I'm here for it because he's just won 2 of the biggest trophies that we're going for. But we can't get ahead of ourselves. We need to calm. We need to chill.
I'll tell you
Do what
this,
we
a
can.
League Cup, an FA Cup wouldn't get you this excited.
No, it would not. No, it would not. You're correct. You're correct. Before we talk Arsenal, can we talk rivals? Me and you are going to agree here. It's pathetic, Egal. The rival fans, it's pathetic. I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of media, by the way. I'm not just talking about rival fans that are us, that are content creators. I'm talking about rivals in the media. I'm talking about the Rio Ferdinands of this world, the Jermaine Defoes of this world, that all seem to be piling on Arsenal and saying it's a disgrace of a VAR decision. Let's just take the VAR decision away for a second. You can incorporate it into it in your answer. Why does everyone hate Arsenal, bro? Real talk.
Bro, the reality is they can't do anything but watch and hate because their teams have played us and lost both games. Their teams have played us and maybe took one game off us. Their teams have played us and maybe beat us and got a draw like Liverpool, but they're not in our position. Liverpool were 5 points ahead. They were the favorites going into the summer. They're now nowhere near the league title. Chelsea were a couple points away from us. We got a draw at their ground. They apparently were going to go on to win the league. Didn't happen that way. Since then, they've gotten less than 50 points. When you look at Man United, I don't get what's up with some of the Man United fans who back Man City. Like, do you not realize you're cheering for your rival? Do you not realize you're cheering for somebody to try to surpass your club legend, Sir Alex Ferguson's legacy? They've already done the treble. They've already done the 3-peat. They did the 4-peat, and you want them to now win another one. It don't make sense. And then when it comes to Tottenham fans don't seem like they know what they're trying to do. One second they're happy that Arsenal might be taking points off West Ham. Next second they seem upset, like that a decision went in our favor. But I'll just bring it back. The main reason why people dislike Arsenal is not because they dislike the club or they even dislike the fans. It's the fact that they are looking at their situation and they're saying to myself, the only thing that will bring me joy is if they don't win, because their seasons are gone to shits. Their season, they have nothing else to fight for. They have nothing else to compete for. What do Tottenham fans have? Promotion next season. That's the only thing they're gonna fight for. If they're trying to win at something, that's the only thing they're gonna go for. Then you go Chelsea. I've already gone through the list. The main reason why they don't like Arsenal is not because of the fans, not because of people that call us deluded or anything else like that. It's simply because misery loves company. And if they could rather have Man City win it every year for the rest of for the rest of football, they would rather do that because that means Man United doesn't win, Chelsea doesn't win, Liverpool doesn't win, Tottenham doesn't win. and a fan base that you consider a rival doesn't win. And that's really what it is. Nobody rivals Man City. They look at them as a plastic club.
I'll be real with you. I saw some great videos over the last couple of days. The Monday Night Football section from Jamie Carragher, I thought he was spot on. I'm not a massive fan of Jamie Carragher, but I thought everything he said was fair. Big fan of what Hussam said about why everyone's hating on Arsenal and how he would prefer Arsenal to win over some of the other rivals. Big up to him. And big up to Babs. I haven't spoken to Babs for a long time. Big up to him, man. We'll have to do something together soon. But he was absolutely spot on with why the Manchester United fans are confused. Because Manchester United fans have a section where half the section want Arsenal to win because they hate on Liverpool and City and they'd rather them win than Liverpool and City. There's another half that are very bitter and very jealous of what Arsenal are doing at the moment. Now, people might laugh when I say that because we haven't won anything yet, and that's fair. But we've come in closer and we've been put into a position of being able to compete for the Champions League and the Premier League like we have this season quicker than they have since they got rid of Fergie. And they've tried everything. They've tried every manager under the sun. They've tried every player under the sun. They've tried the win now manager. They've tried the CV manager. They've tried the player that's ready to come in and make them ready now, like Pogba and Ibrahimovic and co. And they haven't been able to do what Arsenal have been able to do in terms of competing and looking like they're going to do it. So what they're scared of, I suppose, is they're scared that we might do it quicker than them. Now, it might not happen. This could all come crumbling. We get it. But right now, as things stand, we're looking pretty favourites for the Premier League. And we've got a great chance of winning the Champions League because we're in the final. And I think there's a section of the Manchester United fans that are like, wow. And maybe Terry was right. Maybe that is why Arsenal was scary, because they were so scared that it might be Arsenal that do it first. Now, of course, we have to get across the line. And I hear that. The Chelsea fans, they're scared that we might win a Champions League so that they can't then sing Champions of Europe, never hear that. And the reason they sing that is not just because they've won one and we haven't. It's because it's the only tool they can use to try and plead that they're bigger than us, because they're not bigger than Arsenal, right? We're the third biggest in England. We are. When you count up the trophies, Liverpool and United are bigger than Arsenal. Hands up. Then it comes us. Then it comes City and Chelsea and all the others, because they haven't won as much as us. And that's what we're trying to do, is win trophies. The only thing they've got over us is they've got 2 European trophies, which they claim counts as 5 Premier Leagues, which is bollocks. That's not the definition of winning the Champions League, right? So for me, that's why everyone's hating on us so much. And I think now it's time to shut these guys up. Now, a Premier League would do that. It would shut them up and it would say, here you go. But you are going to get some of the rivals, Egal, that say, that's not enough. 6 years and 1 Premier League. Right. You're going to get that, okay? But if we win the Champions League as well, that really is going to shut all of them up. City, Chelsea, because we can go, we're still bigger than you. Yeah, but we got, oh shit, you've won that now as well, haven't you? They won't be able to shout that at us.
The only thing that will shut them up, the only thing that will shut them up, Dan, sorry to interrupt you.
No, go on, bro.
Is if Man City are out of the title race and the team we're competing against is Manchester United. If you see Man United get into a title challenge with Arsenal next season, for example, that is the only time where they will swallow their pride and say, you know what? Arsenal's the lesser of the 2 evils. Anybody else, they would prefer Arsenal to lose. Let's be 100% real. If it's Chelsea, who's picking Arsenal over Chelsea out of all the other teams in the league? If it's Man City, who's picking Man City over the other teams? If it's Liverpool, a big bunch of them are still going to pick Liverpool. The reality is the only other team that would garner the same level of hate is Manchester United. And I think that's the only way you'd see people say, you know what? I don't mind Arsenal winning.
Okay. So for me, one thing I do have to do, and this is a big up to Mikel Arteta and everyone behind the scenes that's made Arsenal where they are right now. I had a lot of time for Arsene Wenger. I did. I think he should have gone at the end, but I think he was unbelievable for us. But nobody was really hating us like they are now, because we'd win a couple of FA Cups. We played pretty football. We'd get beaten up. We'd have a soft underbelly and everyone would laugh at us. Mikel Arteta has made us hated again. And we haven't been hated like that since the George Graham days, if I'm honest. Under Arsene Wenger, a lot of the teams liked Arsenal because they hated Manchester United. So it's like, go on, Wenger, you're the only one who can do this, really. Break up Fergie. Then Mourinho come in and it went from there, and Arsenal, unfortunately, went a little bit downhill. Mikel Arteta has made everybody hate Arsenal again, but for the right reasons if you're an Arsenal fan. So that's something I have to praise him for, because although we haven't won, and you can talk about this and I can question whether he can get us across the line, all that stuff is still valid. But one thing I can't question is the fact that he's put us into a position where rival fans can't stand us again. And that is what I want. I don't want people to love Arsenal, if I'm honest with you. They're never going to. They're never going to love Arsenal. But one thing that he
Exactly.
has done is he's made all the rival fans go, "Oh shit, Arsenal going to win," and that's what I have to say. Fair play to him for. Go on.
The only way I feel like we will get the respect this team deserves is if we have sustained success. Because I feel
Yeah.
like this team is amongst the greatest uh, I've seen in a long time when it comes to Arsenal. We haven't seen a lot of greatness in this team, so it's not much to be said.
Mm,
But compared to our past great teams, this team still has a high ceiling to go and hit. I feel like we're on our floor. Call me crazy. Champions League final and a league title right now this season, if we do get both, we're not playing the best football.
mm,
We're not attacking amazing. Our midfield has injuries every other week. Our best creators in Odegaard and Saka have been injured for a big portion of the season. And you mean to tell me we're still going to lift the Premier League? We're still going to lift the Champions League? If we do, honestly, Dan, hypothetically speaking, we go on to lift both trophies this season. I don't even feel like we're close to our finished article.
mm.
I don't even feel like we're close to what we can peak with this team. We still need a left winger. We still need more squad depth in the midfield, in my opinion. Defense, we're solid. Attack can improve so many ways. So many ways you can improve that attack just by the way we play everything. And people talking about rivals hating on us. Our own fans gave up at times this season. We lost to Liverpool, I seen people saying, "That's it, we lost the league." When we drew to Man City, I said, "That's it." I seen people say, "That's it, we lost the league." When we lost to Aston Villa, I seen people say, "That's it, we're gonna drop off." When we lost to Man City earlier a couple weeks ago, even I was worried and said, "You know what? That could be a big blow." But guess what? We find a way, and that mental hurdle that everyone was worried about, that bottle gene, whatever people want to call it, once we get that over the line and we get that out of the way, I think it's even more worrisome for all these people what we could potentially do for the next coming years. I'm not guaranteeing a league title tomorrow or another trophy, anything else, but I'm saying nothing's guaranteed in football. But if we
Yeah.
can sustain the success, that is what's scary for these people because they do see defensive football structure that's not going nowhere. It's
I
not
think
going.
for me, let's let's talk about domination after this season, right? That's the first thing I'll
I'm
say.
not talking about
However,
domination.
no, but I am. I'm because that's what I want. That's what I want. I don't just want to win this league and go right now. Let's go watch the cricket. I want to keep going again next year and next year and next year, right? So we can talk about that come May at the end of the May. What I want to talk about first of all is what Manchester City are going to do because I know it's more important what we do, and we'll come to that, and we promise we will. But I want to actually get your opinion on what you think Man City will do because a lot of people think they're going to go win the rest of their games. Some people are expecting them to drop points either tonight or against Bournemouth, and there's some that are saying that they actually don't look that great, and they're more bothered now about just winning the FA Cup and winning the two domestics, and they might actually rotate in a few of the other games. So, where's your head at in these next three games? They've got Palace, Bournemouth, and Aston Villa.
One of the main reasons why I'm happy that Arsenal's in the position we're in right now, we don't have to focus on Man City. We just need to win our games. But I don't think Man City are going to go the rest of the season unbeaten. I think away from home, they're going to drop points. And that's where they've dropped the most points this season. Look away to Nottingham Forest, away to West Ham. These games were not easy for them. They ended up drawing. I could see that Bournemouth game being a banana skin or banana peel or whatever you want to call it for them. As for what they're going to do in the grand scheme of things, another reason why I did not want Arteta sacked at all is because imagine, hypothetically speaking, we did not win the league. Man City beat us to the league. They did a treble, domestic treble, and Arteta leaves at the end of the season, and he goes straight into the Man City job because Pep left. Wouldn't that be a nightmare for us?
I mean,
So
look, I don't know that yet, but maybe it will. Maybe it would be. Maybe Arteta is just getting started now, and he's brushed off all the cobwebs, and it's like win, 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 win. I hope it's with Arsenal, and I hope he does that. I don't think we'll know if he was to leave and go to Man City and win with them. I don't know if that's the case,
reason
but
why I say
certainly,
that Pep's leaving, bro.
well,
Pep's
Pep, I
leaving.
think is going. I think it's going to be Maresca, from what we understand. I don't know if that's true, but if he does go, then that's a very, very interesting couple of years for Arsenal. Because I look around now, and I'll be real with you, and I say this: I don't see any other teams that I go, oh, they look great. Like Chelsea don't, United don't, Liverpool don't. Obviously, Man City, we don't know if they will without Pep. They're the only ones I'm looking at. I don't see a Villa or a Newcastle or bloody Spurs coming and doing something crazy. So we're in a very good position now with the right additions in the summer under Berta and Arteta's aid to go. We can go and really, really do something special now. And we could go and have
We
3-4 years where we're winning trophies every year. That's what I want. That's what I hope.
we won 10 games this season by 1-0. Next season, let's try to go win 10 games by 3-0. That should be the aim. Like, we want to see
Or even
a
2-0.
or 2-0, whatever. My point is Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Tottenham, Man United, all of them are currently in stages of their club where they're either competitive but rebuilding, won the league last year and refreshing the squad like Liverpool. Chelsea, they don't really know what they're doing. They always seem close but not close enough. Man United are a yo-yo club. They'll get into the Champions League, realize that they don't have the squad depth, and then flame out, or they could become competitive and for 6 to 7 months and then eventually flame out, because I don't think they have the squad to compete for anything at this moment in time. And Tottenham are just an utter joke. They're not even in the category of a top team anymore. So when you look at the grand scheme of the league, if we're not up there once again next season, I'll be surprised, because that would mean Declan Rice must have got injured. Somebody like Saka must be injured. Our signings must have all failed. There has to be a lot to go wrong for us to not be competitive next season across the board, because defensively, you just don't lose as many games with how we're set up well defensively. Our attack is the thing that fluctuates. Going into next season, I feel like we should have a relatively solid base, and I do see a lot of positive. I do still see a big future for us, man.
Yeah, look, I hope and I pray that everything you're saying is right about the future. I think Manchester City were going to drop points. My question mark is, are they going to drop any more? Because I didn't have them down to drop against Everton. I had them down to drop against Bournemouth. They did drop against Everton, which surprised me. Are they going to continue to drop against Bournemouth? Now, Bournemouth haven't lost a game since we beat them
16
back in.
games.
Crazy. We're the last team to beat Bournemouth, and that was ages ago. They've been incredible. Iriola's last home game. A Bournemouth fan I know, and you know from the channel, Sam, big up to all the listeners that know Sam from the Back of the Net podcast. For me, when I look at what Bournemouth have done, he thinks Bournemouth have got something for City. He doesn't think they'll beat them, but he thinks they'll definitely, at the bare minimum, pick up a point. If we do that, we can win the league. If we beat Burnley, we can win it that night with 4 points clear with 3 games, 3 points to play for. And that's what I would love. I'd want to win the league as quick as possible. That's what I want to do. People say, do you want to win the league? Of course I do. Do you care how you win it? Not really. But if I could be fussy, I want to win it ASAP. If I could be even fussier, I want them to lose to Palace so that we can beat Burnley and do it. So,
do you see Palace getting anything today?
No. Do you?
Best case scenario, draw, I think. I don't see them winning.
I think Man City will win, but I don't think it will be amazing. I think maybe a 2-0 like victory, but it won't be like a pasting. I think they'll.
The thing is, Palace is not the. Palace is good defensively, but are they as physical as a Everton or West Ham or a Nottingham Forest? I don't think so.
I think they've got more chance of drawing against Bournemouth than Palace.
100%. As for Arsenal, we can't overlook Burnley, but last game of the season at home, I do think we should have enough to win the game. Complacency shouldn't be an issue at this moment in time going into the home game versus Crystal Palace with 3 games remaining. I think all the players who've been there for the last several years know how important this is. The fans know how important this is. This is not going to feel like when we went to the Brighton game mid-season. Remember how flat that felt, or the Wolves game that I went to also. Those 2 games that you were there, you know how they were. They felt like cagey, even though we won versus both of them. They felt so cagey, and I don't think it's going to feel like that. I think it's going to feel more like Man United that season when they scored and the goal was disallowed, and it became like the atmosphere was just crazy. Declan Rice scored his first goal. Gabriel Jesus scored the crazy goal at the end. I could see it being like a game where we end up, it'll be close, but then we run away with it at the end. That's what I think is going to happen in this game. I don't think it's going to be a game where it's going to be cagey or too scared, but complacency cannot kick in from the fan base, from the players, from the manager. I know what this team is capable of doing, and they're going to want to get this game buried quick and early. They're going to want to put 2-3 up quick. And I do think at home, big pause, but the ball just gets sucked into the net sometimes when you're at home compared to when you're away from home.
I think Arsenal win both their games. So I think we will be Premier League champions.
Are you worried
My
about the
only
Burnley
worry,
game?
I'm not worried about Burnley. My only worry would be Palace. And people might laugh, say, oh, Palace is going to play the kids. The reason I'm worried is because there's severe pressure going into the last game of the season. Now, let's just assume that Manchester City have won both their games. If we do slip up and it's 1-0 with 2 minutes to go and Palace equalise and Man City win, they're going to win the league on goal difference. I think they're probably going to score more goals than us unless we smash Burnley by 5 or 6. That's why I'd be worried. So that's why I'm hoping and praying that Manchester City drop points to either Palace, Bournemouth or both so that we can tie this thing up earlier than the Palace game, because that's what I want to be seeing. But essentially, Arsenal just got to win 2 Premier League games against 2 sides that we should beat, against 2 sides that aren't playing for anything. Palace have already said, apparently, under Glasner, they're going to make changes because they want to win this final. And obviously, Burnley are already down without a manager, and they're at the Emirates. This should be 2 comfortable victories now, Egal. It should be. And Arsenal are therefore champions.
Hey, Crystal Palace get a benefit from Arsenal if they win the league. 10 million goes into their bank account from Eze bonus. So I'm not sitting here thinking that they're going to want to lose or drop points intentionally, but you don't want your fans, you want your last home game to be with your fans, and you don't want Arsenal fans at the stadium. Go get a result today. Crystal Palace, go get a result today. You won't have to worry about Arsenal fans invading your stadium on the final day of the season. Also, as for Manchester City, I just don't want to. I want to win the league on the pitch. Play that final game and win it. If we're at home watching Man City and we win the league, it will be great. But at the same time, wouldn't you want to win the league at home on the final day? Have Crystal Palace get a point today? That would be the best case scenario.
That's the best case scenario. 100%.
Best case scenario, final home game of the season on a Monday night. The fans get to see the Premier League trophy lifted at the Emirates Stadium for the first time in our club's history. Worst case scenario, we end up losing some game or dropping points and we lose the league. I don't think that's going to happen. But if it goes to a final day, the only positive, if we win it on the final day, is we finally did it. It doesn't matter how we did it, and we get to see Man City taste a little bit of pain in themselves because they're gonna be home for their final home game, and that means that there's gonna be a replica trophy and a stand and everything built at their ground for once. And they're gonna have to taste and feel what happened to Liverpool and Arsenal for those years. Honestly, any Liverpool fan who sat there and watch their team get 99 points and 97 points and lose the league and doesn't want Arsenal to win over Man City, I don't know what to say to you. How could you go through that pain and still back that team to beat another team? It doesn't make sense to me. I would never root for Man City, ever. Only time I've seen myself root for them was when they were in the Champions League final versus Chelsea, and even then I was conflicted. I didn't want them to get their first Champions League.
I'll be real. I don't really understand any fan that goes. There's a lot of reasons and understand why people have it. Like I didn't want Tottenham to win the Champions League final. I wanted Liverpool to win it. Right, I get that. But when there's some of the ones I see, it's just a bit embarrassing. I mean, when I'm seeing Spurs fans confused celebrating the last minute goal, like, hang on a minute, don't you want these guys to lose so that you can have a chance of staying up? Like, are you that confused?
Their thought process is the draw is not going to hurt them.
Embarrassing. And they go and draw to Leeds. Like, what the hell's going on here? Honestly, that club are a mess. Absolute confused mess.
I want them to stay up. They've given us a 9-point swing in the title race.
Yeah, a lot of people want them to stay up so we can beat them again, but I just want them down because I can't stand their fans. I just think they're awful. I just want them gone. I just want them gone, man, because we can beat West Ham as well. Look,
they've taken more points off Man City in title races than majority of these teams in the league.
No, you're
West
right.
Ham, right. Fair play to them. They took points off City also. So, I don't know. I personally think either one who goes down, entertaining, I'll be happy, whoever goes down. But if Tottenham stay up, they give us 6 points every season.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. A lot of people have said that. Chelsea have said that as well. And we'll find out what happens there at the Bridge in a couple of weeks' time because obviously Chelsea have got Spurs as well. Let me ask you about some of the players this season. Obviously, Ben White is out now, and it looks like he's going to be out for a few months. excuse me, certainly the rest of the season. It doesn't require surgery, from what I understand, but it's obviously going to be taking some time for him to rest and recover. Mosquera now is really the only option. What's your thoughts on that?
First of all, I want to say, hopefully Ben White gets well soon. People are going to blame the manager or the medical team or everybody for these injuries, but Ben White's just gotten to a point where he sacrificed his body so much that he gets injured quite easily. And Gary Neville said that he felt like if he would have gone in harder, he wouldn't have gotten injured in that moment. He went in too soft and he buckled his knee. So you can tell that he was kind of onto something when he said that. Fair play to him. I was super critical of him for saying that, blaming Ben White for injuring himself, but he kind of was right with how things have worked out. So yeah, maybe he does need to just go a little bit harder in those tackles next time. As for Mascara, I don't want Mascara playing against Kvaratskhelia in the Champions League final. I want Timber back. If Timber can come back in time for the final, great. If you can just wrap Timber in cotton wool and have him ready to go for the final, amazing. I trust Mascara versus Burnley. I trust him versus Palace. I don't think we necessarily need to worry in those two games. Mascara is good enough. He's not all of a sudden become a bad player. What people are scared of, like people like to say, is Kvaratskhelia. He has been one of the best players in the Champions League, and he is a candidate for player of the season in the Champions League. In the case that PSG give us a problem, he would be one of the main men who would give us a problem.
I need him back, man. I need this guy back, man. Timber. I need him back because against
One of the best right backs in the world.
Easily. And I think he's got a great chance of keeping him fairly quiet. Look, big up to Mosquera. I'm a big fan of him, and I think he's come in and surprised a few. He's been a gem of a signing. He's young and he's going to learn, but he's really a centre-back. He's playing at right-back, and I think he's done okay, to be fair to him. And I think Mikel Arteta should have brought him on earlier against West Ham, and he obviously rectified that sub. But I'll say this. I don't think it really matters who plays up against Kvaratskhelia because he can turn it on against anybody. So I think we might be able to sit there and say, please be Timber. And if he's not there, then, oh my God, if we had Timber, maybe we say that. But we could play Timber and Kvaratskhelia could still be the best player on the pitch and win them the game. So I think, looking forward to that one, I think it's the only thing that worries me. The rest of the side, as long as we're fit, touch wood, there's no more injuries between now and then, I think we'll have a great chance of winning. We basically got the best attack in the world versus the best defense in the world. And which one of them is going to come out on top is a flip of a coin for me.
Usually it's the defense.
I mean, let me ask you, I don't want to talk too much about this game because obviously Burnley and Palace is first and we've spoken about that. As things stand right now, nobody else gets injured for PSG between now and then. Nobody else gets injured for Arsenal between now and then. What do you think about this final?
Mucky, dirty 1-0 Arsenal.
Do you think that, or is that what you hope?
No, that's what I think is the best way for us to win. 1-0, score first, and just defend. And obviously defend, but try to still attack and have the ball in their end.
I think that is the only way we win this game. If we score first and we defend. If we concede first, I can't see how we win this game. I mean, it's going to be very hard. Very, very hard.
They could be it could turn into an open game because PSG play very open football, and you could find a situation where we get a goal, they're chasing it, and we get a second, and then completely shut up shop at that point. But I just think it's going to be a 1-0 ugly win. Like we've seen Chelsea beat Man City that way. We've seen Real Madrid beat Liverpool that way. We've seen Man City beat Inter Milan that way. You've seen teams score one goal and the game was done. Sometimes it's just small margins in these games. It's not often you see what we've seen versus what we've seen in the last Champions League final where one team is just blitzing Milan, or what we've seen in the Champions League final before that where you had a high-scoring game versus Real Madrid versus Dortmund.
Egal, if you said to me now, if I close my eyes and go, tell me the future, and the answer is
3-1
Arsenal beat Burnley 1-0, Palace 1-0, PSG 1-0, shake your hand. Thank you very much. I'll take that 100%. However, my heart will not be able to cope. But
it's not going to be easy. But one thing is, We were miserable after that 1-0 win versus Newcastle. But what we didn't know is Man City were going to go and drop points.
Exactly.
I think
Exactly.
Man City, if they could redo everything, they would have taken a 1-0 versus Everton if it meant they were still in the title race.
Of course, 100%. Of course.
And we criticize our attack. People criticize us in how we play. But that style of play has meant we've had a more sustainable defensive structure all season, and
Our
it's led
attack,
to
to
us
be fair
being
to our
better.
attack, it has turned up in moments. I've been critical of it, and I think we should have scored more goals. Like individually, excuse me, they should have. Gyökeres has scored the amount of goals that he has. Saka's turned up in recent weeks. Trossard's
Criticism.
turned up at the weekend. Martinelli's been brilliant in the Champions League. We've also had little glimpses from Odegaard, Eze, and Max Dowman, who have all come on and contributed this season. So, as much as we have been critical, and I think some of it's justifiable and fair, I do think as an attack, it's not like it's been something that can't hit a barn door. We do score goals. It's just the way that we score goals people criticise. But let's be real. I don't care if we win this damn trophy. If we win both of them, the streets aren't ready. Like the streets aren't ready if we win the Premier League. If we win both, Egal, I tell you this now, it will go down in history, bro.
Hey, I'm not looking at transfers. I'm not looking at the summer too much. But one thing I am saying is if we win both of them with this squad and this team right now, you could still fix and upgrade this team. It's not the finished article.
Agreed. Agreed.
So it is when people say Arsenal, oh, they got lucky, they're not going to do it again. People are going to try to downplay this team this season. Just watch, because I don't think we're going anywhere.
I agree. I don't think we're going anywhere. Next season, I think we're in another title race, even if we keep this squad together and don't add anybody else. But I think
And
that
the
we
fact
will.
that we got over the line, people don't have to worry. I think the fan base will give the club a big boost, backing us from the beginning because of the fact that we've already won.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Winning the league this season will not only give us a boost for next season, it will give us a boost for the Champions League final. We spoke about it yesterday.
Yeah.
If we win the league, once the season's over and we're going into that Champions League final, we will have a much more galvanized fan base than we've ever had. And then if we go on to win the Champions League and the league going into next season, what's stopping this from Arsenal to having the best atmosphere in the Champions League and in the league, having all the home games being rocking, going crazy? I could just see us going to the next level. And then I look at Liverpool; they have Slot. I look at Maresca, never beat us as a manager in Premier League. Look at Chelsea getting a new manager. How long is he going to be there? I give him 6 months max. Tottenham, who knows how good they're going to be. Man United, who knows who even is going to be their manager. Really and truly, what's stopping this team from winning the league again? Genuinely.
It's a great question. Let me ask you this question. Players, if Arsenal do win this league, how many of them deserve a mention for Team of the Year, Player of the Year in the Premier League?
4. Raya, Gabriel, Saliba, Rice. They're all in the Team of the Year, and they're all candidates for Player of the Year. Rice and Saliba, potentially Ballon d'Or candidates. If France win the World Cup, Saliba's up there. If Arsenal win the Champions League and league, both Rice and Saliba potentially could be Ballon d'Or candidates because their respective countries could win the World Cup. Now, the Spanish number one is not Raya, so he's not going to be able to get that. And Gabriel just doesn't have the same level of influence, in my opinion, for the Brazil national team, where he's going to get a shout for that. So I don't think he has a shout for that. But hey, Champions League Player of the Year, I think is going to go to Declan Rice. PFA Player of the Year is probably going to go to Declan Rice. And Arsenal Player of the Year is probably going to go to Saliba.
Okay. It's interesting because nobody up until the last couple of weeks have spoken about a Saliba until I started to mention it a couple of weeks ago. It's like people have copied what I've said. Like he's been so good throughout this season, but no one's talking about Gabriel or Raya or Rice. And I don't really know what he's done that has not allowed him to be spoken to apart from the last few weeks. I think he's been very, very good, consistently good, typically good. I think the defensive partnership has been phenomenal. And people say that Gabriel has been brilliant. it's because of Saliba. And I agree that Gabriel makes Saliba better as well. But at the same time, Saliba's been unbelievable for Arsenal
It's
now for
because of the
three,
set
4 years.
pieces for Gabriel.
Yeah, I get that, Egal, but I don't think that should be against the the advantages and pros for Saliba. I'm glad he's been mentioned because I think he's been phenomenal. If I'm honest with you, David Raya won't get it because he's a
The reason why
goalkeeper.
Saliba was going to
Out
lose
of order,
out,
but he won't, and I think that's out of order because I think he's been unbelievable. But goalkeepers never normally win it, and I think you can have a toss up between between Saliba and Gabriel. I think it probably will be Rice out of all of the players that does get the mention the most. And I get why, because he's been phenomenal. But I don't think it should be forgotten about how good Saliba and the others have been.
hey, I was kind of disappointed that Bruno Fernandes got the Football Writers Player of the Year, but then when you realize that the Football Writers is mostly made up of Manchester United writers, you're gonna realize quickly how that happened.
I'll be real with you. I don't actually care, but I will put up a little bit of a defense. I can't stand
It's like
him, by the
50th
way. I can't
Manchester United
stand him.
journalist.
No, I get that, but I can't stand Bruno Fernandes. I hate him. Right? Okay, I put it out there. I don't mind saying it. I can't stand him. However, individually, what he's done is incredible this season. And I appreciate he's hardly played any minutes, all that kind of stuff. But really and truly, it's only about the Premier League. And what he's done in the Premier League has been phenomenal. He's up there with De Bruyne and Henry for assists. You have to say individually, that's incredible. So I don't
100%.
really care too much.
But let me ask you a question. Did Ozil get Player of the Year? No.
No,
Did Cesc
he didn't.
Fabregas get Player of the Year for that?
No,
No.
no,
Did Kevin De Bruyne got 18 assists? He didn't get Player of the Year. So
no.
it's not only about the assists.
I
You
agree.
have to do more.
I agree, and I thought Roy Keane was spot on. Again, I think Roy Keane's spot on most of the time. But when he said, and this is a Man United guy, by the way, and he said, I don't think it should be Bruno Fernandes. I think he's done incredible, but for me, it has to be a player that's won something and got something across the line. So really and truly, what he means is it's either going to be Haaland if City win it, or it's going to be Rice if Arsenal win it. That's where he's at. So I kind of agree with Roy Keane. But really and truly, it is only the football journalists who chat about it. Let's be real. No one really cares too much, in my opinion. But, it will cause a debate. Let me ask you this.
By the way, Semenyo's been a flop. I'm happy we didn't sign him.
I wouldn't say he's been a flop, but the last couple of weeks he's not been as good. He's dropped.
He looks like he doesn't fit in a team that is technically sound.
Yeah, I thought he came and hit the ground running, and it's dried up a little bit. But again, Manchester City have dried up a little bit, if I'm honest. Let me ask you this though, right? We'll come to a close with these few questions, and there's some more kind of debatable questions here to end on, right? I'll give you a scenario, right? Arsenal win the Premier League. Arsenal win the Champions League. We've just done the double, 2 major honours. The fans are going mad. The streets aren't ready. It's wild. The parade's incredible. Okay, we're dreaming here, but just go with me. You enjoy it. We enjoy it. It's brilliant together. Then we start to get ready for pre-season. What would you like to hear from content creators, rival fans, and doubters of Mikel Arteta? Would you like them to hold their hands up and come out and say, look, I believed, you never did. What you got to say about it now? Or are you just chill and you don't really care about all that, Egal?
Let them say whatever the hell they want to say. I couldn't care less. Yeah, I hope they say we got lucky and we're never going to do it again. So we have something to motivate us to do it again. I hope they try to.
What about Arsenal fans I'm talking about that doubted, like
Oh,
myself,
Arsenal fans.
Kenny,
You know what?
these guys? Like Troops, Curtis, Turkish, all these guys that have said, don't believe it, this process.
No, but you know what? Troops and Turkish and everybody, I genuinely believe they want Arsenal to win and be happy when we do win. I have no issue with those guys. I have issues with the people who constantly just try to fight within our own fan base. Let's just get together. Let's just enjoy the season that we just had, and let's look forward to the potential of doing it again. And as a fan
That's
base,
a very sensible answer, Egal.
I would just ask for people to unite.
I will be honest.
I would just ask for people to unite. Am I going to cook some people for some of their stupid takes? Yes. People who said this was the most miserable they've ever felt as an Arsenal fan might end up feeling the best they've ever felt as an Arsenal fan come the end of the season. So those kind of people, they're going to have to look back at how silly they were when they were saying stuff like that. People who wanted the manager out, I think it was justified at times, and definitely to say you don't trust if we're heading in the right direction because you didn't believe in the manager, understandably so. I always believed in the manager, and I thought we were heading in the right direction since like COVID days. So I'm just saying right now, if you're an Arsenal fan and you don't have you don't have anything positive to say, just keep it to yourself because you might just be one of those people who likes to keep their powder dry until we officially lift the trophy. I don't encourage anybody going to the stadium with an Arsenal shirt that says champion. I think that's wild, like what that guy did in the West Ham game. But I don't even know if that's.
He's got to pray that we are champions now after doing that.
But I don't think. But I don't think. I don't think a normal fan would do that. I think that's just someone trying to look for clicks. Most of the time, we're Arsenal fans. Everyone's allowed to celebrate. Everyone's allowed to enjoy themselves. Just be honest with yourself from how critical you have been about the manager and the team, and look back and be like, hey, maybe I don't need to be that critical or that heavy on the team, and also lay off the fans who you've been criticizing for the last couple of years. Because earlier this season, I was on this channel and Lee was telling me I've seen title winning squads and this is not a title winning squad. And I said, you don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know what a title winning squad is with Arsenal because you haven't seen it for 20 plus years. So you need to understand, if we go and do it this year, now you're looking at a title winning squad. Now you're looking at players that have done it, and maybe just have a little bit more patience when things aren't necessarily going our way. Because football heritage is a thing. Once you win, you feel like you have that heritage, you trust more. Now, right now, I understand why people don't trust. But guess what? 3 games left. There's nothing but belief.
Well, let me tell you this. If we do get this Premier League across the line, and dare I say it, we get the Champions League across the line on top of that, I don't think you'll get any Arteta outers at the start of next season saying we ain't going to win anything, get this guy gone. The only reason I feel like people have
They
done
would
that
look like idiots.
because they would look like idiots. So what I'm getting at is the only reason that has been the case is because of the 6 years prior. That is it. I don't think there's been any of this. I genuinely can't stand Mikel Arteta, get him out of my face. I
No,
don't
no,
think
no,
that's
no. Bro,
what it
what are
is.
you talking about? It happens
No,
on
no,
your
no.
channel all the
I
time.
don't think there is. I don't think if they are, they're just silly. I just
Bro,
don't listen to
who
these
do you
people.
have on your panel tonight?
Who do I have on the panel tonight? It's got myself, it's got Sophie, we've got Kenny Ken, we've got Positive Dan, we've got Negative Dan, we've got Brandon, and there's a couple others as well. Can't think D is coming on as well.
Ask them one question. Before the season started, did you have a genuine dislike of Arteta as a manager, or was it just the fact that he was at Arsenal and he has not achieved the level of success that you thought that he should achieve? Because I don't think even they expected Arsenal to be successful. So ask them going into the season, what did you
That's
think
fair
of
though.
Arteta?
That is fair.
No. Ask them going into the season, what did you think of Mikel Arteta? And now, if we are going to go on to win the league, has that opinion of Arteta changed?
I can answer that now because I'm in that bracket. I've never disliked Mikel Arteta. I might have said some horrible things about him when he's frustrated me once, but I've never disliked him as a person. I don't know the geezer, but personally, I didn't want him hired because I felt like it would take too long to win. It's taken 6 years, so I think it's been justified for me to be a little bit like, oh, I haven't got much more patience. I'm not entitled. I know that you've said I am before, but I don't think I am. I think I've been patient enough. When I look at what Mikel Arteta has done, I can see a hell of a lot of praise, and I think he deserves a hell of a lot of praise. And I think I've given him praise to get us to where we are. Where I haven't given him praise is because he hasn't got us across the line. If he does that this season, which I now think he will, I think he will win the league at the bare minimum. I can sit there and say that this might have been worth it. Now, some people might say it's not worth it, and I'm just starving over it, so I think it's worth it because it feels like, oh, thank God, we're
We
now
win the
across the line.
Champions League, it's worth it.
100% it is. I'm talking about if we just win the Prem, though, because a lot of people say, was it worth it? 6 years? Crikey, you could have won it by now, before now. I don't know that we could have. I think we could have. I don't know. It's hindsight. I think we could have won it before now. But personally, I don't care anymore because we're in the now and we've won it. So we can start giving him praise and we can start saying, do you know what? This has worked. Fair play for having the balls. Fair play for sticking by it. Yes, it's not been pretty, but you've got it across the line. You've done it. And I would like to see changes next season. I'd like to see personnel changes. I'd like to see upgrades. But I now believe you can do it because you've proven you can get it across the line. That was my only question mark, Egal. It wasn't about, was he a good coach? Is he got good players? Have we got one of the best in the Europe? We have one of the best defense. All of those were answered with yes, 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 yes.
Nice hair.
My question was, can he get across the line? And if he now can, then I have to say I was wrong. I never believed he could do it. But my God, thank God, we've now done it.
Hey,
And I was
not
wrong.
only has he been able to coach to a high standard. He's also been able to produce a coach that has gone on to coach in the Serie A and keep a team in Parma that was in a relegation battle last year out of the relegation zone this entire season. So I do think Mikel Arteta is not only a great coach, he's already producing good coaches on the come up. It's crazy to think. Carlos Cuesta has been the Palmer's coach and
He's
is
been very
keeping them
good.
up
From what I understand, he's been very, very good. Very, very
by
good.
10 points out of the relegation zone. Crazy.
Okay, let me finish on this question.
Random.
If we do win the league and not the Champions League, so we just win the Premier League.
Yeah.
I was asked this question on a panel, so I thought I'd ask it to you. Where do you think he would rank in terms of Premier League greats? Because he's obviously won one. Now, I answered that with the same managers that have won a Premier League before. So we're looking
He's
at
ahead
Kenny
of Antonio
Dalglish.
Conte.
Sorry, man, I broke up there. What was that?
He's ahead of Antonio Conte and Ranieri. Ranieri, did he win anything else besides the league? No.
No. So I put him in the same brackets as the one that's all won a Premier
Ranieri
League.
didn't win anything with Chelsea.
No, he didn't. No.
Okay, so yeah. So he's ahead of Ranieri, Conte, because he won an FA Cup also. And yeah, I'll just put him ahead of Conte. So wherever you rank Conte, put him ahead of Conte.
So you think he's better than Conte, Ranieri, Dalglish, and all of the guys that didn't win anything?
I didn't say Dalglish. I don't know what Dalglish won at Liverpool.
Well, Dalglish was obviously successful at Liverpool, but I'm talking about what he did at Blackburn when he won the league with them. I was talking about that. But yeah, obviously, at Liverpool he was successful, but we're talking about Premier League, not before Premier League. So yeah, Premier League greats. Kenny Dalglish will be up there because he won it with Blackburn. Ranieri won it with Leicester. Conte won it with Chelsea. They're the ones that have won one. Obviously, Pellegrini and Mancini will be mentioned as well at Manchester City. So
anybody
I'll put him with those, I suppose, is what I'm saying.
Anybody who won a one-year trophy with Chelsea, he's ahead of. Anybody who won a one-off trophy with Man City, he's ahead of. I think the only people who he would be behind right now are people who've had sustained success for 2 to 3 years. Like right now, he would be behind a Klopp, Jose, and those guys, and anybody who has like multiple league titles.
So let me make it easier. Let me make it easier. He's below Sir Alex Ferguson, Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola, Arsene Wenger, Jose Mourinho, Carlo Ancelotti. I'm trying to think of somebody else now. Yeah. So he's below those 6 managers.
He might crack the top 10. Right now, he's not in the legendary status where he's in the top 5 or 6. He's on the outskirts of just getting into that elite bracket. He needs to win multiple league titles or a Champions League, then he can be in that discussion. But right now, he doesn't touch the top 5. He doesn't touch the top 8. I think you could probably think of 8 managers who've won multiple league titles that are ahead of him, or multiple trophies that are ahead of him at this moment in time. So I would like Benitez, for example, is still ahead of him.
He's ahead of Benitez.
Benitez is still ahead of him.
Okay, sorry, I was going to say because he won the Champions League with Liverpool and FA Cups with Liverpool. No, that's fair. No, that's fair. It was a question I didn't really know how to answer.
I'm talking about Arteta in today's football. Not
Yeah.
Arteta against legends.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's still disrespectful to go and start comparing him to legends when he has not done anything remotely close to what they've done yet. Let's go on to win the league and Champions League and then do something again. Then we can have that conversation. Right now, Dan, you're jumping way too ahead.
Yeah. No, look, it's a question I was asked, so I thought I'd ask you. But yeah, look, we're dreaming here, and we're dreaming we're going to be winning things this season. So maybe that's me being positive.
If we win multiple league titles, though, then we'll have conversations.
Well, look, we can come back and have that discussion.
Because we've never done that in the club since the 30s.
1930s, yeah, I know. It's mad. If we were to do it next year, which would probably favour us to do, even now, with Pep going, then it would be incredible. But look, Egal, we run out of time. You're a legend. Thank you so much, as ever, bruv. I really appreciate you coming on. Shout out what you got coming on, how people can follow you, man.
Yeah, Egal Talks Football. Egal Talks Football on TikTok, on YouTube, Twitter, EGTV, Egal. My next video is probably going to be on Thursday. I'm going to do my Vibes from the Six show tomorrow after after 8 o'clock. So yeah, 8 o'clock. I'm gonna be doing that. But Dan, if there's one more question I was gonna ask you,
Yeah,
one question. Who's your number one summer transfer target? I know you're not thinking about summer yet, but that's the only thing that I can think of right now to throw
that's
you off.
okay. I'll make you smile and probably make the chat cringe and say that's never happening. But my number one is Kvaratskhelia.
It's not happening. But if you can get another PSG player, would you take Barcola as your number one?
No, I wouldn't. I'm not too sure about Barcola.
You
I would
know,
rather take Yildiz than Barcola.
I rate Barcola more than Yildiz,
Okay.
and I'll tell you why. The physicality of the French league, the pace and power of the French league compared to the slow, methodical pace of the Serie A. I just view him translating a lot easier. And I think the transition from that league to the Premier League is a lot easier. Look at Turkey, look at some of the players who've come from the French league, how much easier it is for them to just acclimatize quite quickly. Where you come from the Serie A, it takes a little bit longer.
I'll be real. If we're going for the players that we're mentioning that we might be looking at, if Tonali is one that's interested, I'd be happy with him, but I would prefer Bruno G. And if Barcola is one, I think he's a good player, but I prefer Kvaratskhelia. I do like the links with Morgan Rogers, although I think he's been a little bit hot and cold the last few weeks. But I do like Morgan Rogers. But if
You
we're
think the
being
club
linked with
would
those
break the bank
players,
and get
I think we've
Mbappe
got.
or Vini?
I would love him killing Mbappe. I know people will say no, we keep him away, but I would love him. I mean, if we could get a hold of him, you're not going to, because we're not going to pay him £500 million a bloody week, whatever the hell he's on. But I do think that he would be an incredible signing. But I think he'll probably end up staying at Real Madrid, if I'm
Hey,
honest.
realistically speaking, we have a top five winger in world football. I don't know if we're gonna get a top five left winger in world football. There's not too many of them.
I agree. I don't want Anthony Gordon. That's the one I don't want.
He's headed to Bayern, and he'll do well at Bayern.
Yeah, they've got Luis Diaz, haven't they? So I don't know how much he'll play, but I do think that we need to be looking at that position. And Yildiz would be the one that I'd go for that's realistic, out of the realistic options. If I could dream, then Kvaratskhelia and Mbappe would be the two that I'd look at. But let's just win the Premier League first and let's see what happens. But yeah, who's your number one, by the way? I didn't ask you in the summer. Is it Barcola? Surely not.
Realistically speaking, I think if you're saying I can get any left winger, I think he's the best left winger in world football, Kvaratskhelia. But I don't
Yeah.
know if I don't know if he would be joining Arsenal. Rafinha's up there, Vini's up there. Those guys are all the best left winger options, but I don't think either of them are joining Arsenal. The best option that would be available to be joining us in the summer is probably Barcola, and I think he's the only one that might be even open to a move.
Okay.
But hey, we could also get Valverde. Could Valverde play on the left? I don't know. Probably not.
Valverde would be more midfield, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Vinny Jr. Nah, I'd rather
But
have him
I
back.
hope we're ambitious. I don't want us to go back to
Yeah, same.
I don't want us to go back to signing no names from the Portuguese league, like people who nobody knows. Like I don't want no more what do you call it? Fabio Vieira's. I don't want that.
No. Look, maybe there's a world where we sign Kylian Mbappe and Kvaratskhelia. I mean, if we win the
No
Champions
chance.
League,
No chance. Now
maybe we
you're
get
talking
both. You know what I mean?
delusional.
See, at least you've noticed it. At least you've highlighted I'm talking delusion. But look, let's just win this Premier League, man. Big up to everyone that's here. Do me a favor, hit like and subscribe. Make sure you're following Egal Talks Football, and we'll see you on the next time. We're out of here, people. Laters. Yes, people, it's time to check out the new channel merch. We've teamed up with France Football Art, who has created a hand-drawn design of the King Thierry Henry himself. This has been put and printed on hoodies, clothing, and other accessories, and you can check it out using the link in the description. Make sure you get involved, and as always, up the Arsenal.